Hi everyone, I have been remiss in doing my vlogs, so I apologise. I've just been remiss actually, and then over the last 24 hours I've had some really bad news, so that takes that day out, but it doesn't explain the other two. I do apologise, but today was supposed to be chemo day, but my platelets are too low for me to get chemo. So they've told me there's nothing I can do about it. You just have to wait. They will come up on their own. So I was due to be off next week anyway. So I've got 2 weeks off. So that's good. What else did I do today? I tried to, because there's a lot of services open to people afflicted by cancer, and I tried to find out whether I was entitled to any financial assistance, and in actual fact I'm not. And they expect me to raise equity off my house and all this kind of stuff before they would ever think of helping me. And physically, I need to be virtually on my knees. I need to be unable to walk, unable to stand, unable to cook, before they'll actually think about assisting you financially, which is, I find quite disappointing, because there are a whole heap of people out there who can find ways to take advantage of the NHS. And those of us who actually need some assistance, they can't find it. So don't start me off anyway. So that was a bust. And then after that meeting I went to a diet lecture by a nutritional psychologist or some such thing, and it's a 2-hour lecture over 3 weeks. So 6 hours in total. Won't be able to go next week because I'm at a funeral. And we were talking today about things like sourcing foods, which is really quite difficult, because you're just eating chemicals. If what you're eating isn't organic, basically you're stuffing chemicals down yourself. And that is why I believe so many of us are falling prey to cancer, because we're just stuffing chemicals. You can sit there and run your grapes under your tap. It ain't doing anything. Unless you're washing it in bicarbonate of soda or vinegar for 15 minutes, you are not washing off the chemicals on that food. And she told us quite a few things that were disturbing, shall we say. So, and I'll bring them up over, the course of my vlogs. So, but yeah, wherever possible, I would say try and eat organic, because you're just consuming chemicals otherwise. I haven't touched my microwave since I had the surgery, it has to be said. So I need to give that away to someone somewhere. But I ain't using it. I use a steamer, I use my air fryer, but I ain't using that. So, because it breaks down the structure of the food. So yeah, that was an interesting lecture actually, and I'll read through some of the notes and tell you interesting stuff from time to time. So I have a 2-week gap now before I get the 3rd dose of gemcitabine, and then I don't know what will happen after that. I don't know whether I'll get another week's gap before they go to triple killer strength, or whether they'll just go straight to triple killer strength. And remember, I've still got to write to my clinical lead and try and talk her into giving me another month, this time with 2 drugs, and see what what the effect is. So, but you know, everybody's telling me I look marvellous. Actually, today, not so much. My face is looking really quite thin today. I know it was looking pretty good the last few days, but it's not looking good today. And I also today bumped into the wonderful Martha, who held my hand for 8 hours during my Whipple surgery back on the 20th of June. Haven't seen her since, I don't think. And I was just heading up to the I was heading back to the cancer kin section for something. Oh, I know, we were going to ask them to do something for us, and she was coming out of a door. This is a lady who, on the day I was due to have my operation, they wheeled me down the corridor. You know the classic scene where you're kind of flat on your back looking at the ceiling, and they did a left, and it said operating room 13, and I just went and gave up at that point. And at that very moment, somebody took my hand, and it was Martha, and she said, Auntie J, Nicole has sent me to hold your hand throughout this ordeal, and I will not let it go. And she did not let that go, I was told, for the entire 8 hours of the operation, however long it was minimum 8 hours. So where they rerouted my bile ducts because they couldn't get into my bile ducts, so they had to reroute the whole system, as well as remove the cancer. So yeah, so I just bumped into her today, so that was absolutely fantastic to see her. I haven't forgotten her, and I have thought about her, and I am going to thank her. I've come up with an idea now, actually, but yeah, so that was great. So it was a good day. It was a day when I'm not having chemo. So any day that I don't have chemo, and when I think I'm going to, is a good day. So anyway, 7 minutes, more than enough. I shall shut up now. Bye all.